Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you are all right. Now, in our last video, when we were discussing capacity shortage, we introduced the concept of outsourcing. And you would remember that capacity shortage was a situation that we also know as excess demand. So there's more customers out there and you don't have enough products within your business to serve all of them. When that happens, we saw that one of the solutions around that problem is to have the process of outsourcing introduced, which is when a business decides to have some of or all of their production process conducted by another business, and in turn they will of course pay a price for getting that product made from an outside vendor. So when the business try to give up a portion of their production process to outside businesses, vendors, suppliers to perform for a price. Now, the price here, of course, you would, and logically you would understand that when you do something yourself, it will always be cheaper for you to make as compared to when you have it made from another outside vendor. Simple reason is that the other vendor would also want to earn a little bit of profit on top of that, so that it will be priced slightly higher than what you would make it for internally. But if you have certain problems which force you to go towards outsourcing, there is no other choice but to go for it. Now, what are the situations which may occur that force you to go towards the process of outsourcing? Well, we saw recently that one of the problem was of excess demand, where the hotel simply did not have enough rooms to cater to all the customers, and that's where it could have helped if you had another business that was able to at least take some of your customers out of your hand and serve them in the meanwhile. Another situation where a business may choose for outsourcing is where there's a shortage of workers. Every now and then workers leave for better pastures other than the business they were working at previously. So if there's a shortage, if there's gaps in the organization, and which is obviously going to lead to loss of productivity, you may need to get the work that these people were doing from an outside vendor. So again, outsourcing might be useful here. And lastly, if there's a time constraint, of course, if there's a big order from a large organization that you really want to get, then you may have to push hard and you may be feeling some time constraints. And that's where you may ask another company to do part of your production process and for you to at least make the entire order your complete and then send it to the vendor and, of course, get their orders in the future as well. So it's a way to make sure that your shortage of capacity is filled in by another business. Now, of course, you're thinking, well, when you get it made from the business, how can we be sure of the quality? And that's where a lot of background check and a lot of back and forth agreements are put in place so that you have full confidence as a company that the outsourced vendor can provide the same level of quality that you have promised to your customers. And when you have that confidence, only then would you award a contract to the outside vendor. Now, let's look at a little more detail about how the process of outsourcing benefits the organization and what are some of the drawbacks. Now, the very process of outsourcing means that you don't have to have all the production done internally. So you may need less land, you may need less labor, you may need less capital. All of that combined means that the business is able to reduce its operating costs, and when you have it made from someone else, for example, you don't have to worry about the inventory that you have to carry, because that then becomes the problem of the company you've outsourced to. So reducing costs, as you remember, is one way to increase your profits, and that's something that's happening throughout the process of outsourcing. However, and as we discussed a little bit earlier, then since the production is not taking place internally, you're not in control of the kind of raw material that's gone in, the amount of effort that the workers are putting in. So your quality might become questionable. But that's where you bring in all the agreements and you make sure all the background checks have been performed to make sure that the service that you're getting is of quality. And sometimes it's these expert producers, the company who you outsource to, they're better at doing things that you might be because they might be specialists. So in order to get better quality products, you may need quality service from these vendors, and that's where these vendors will also contribute. They will conduct research for the business, and if they can find ways of making the product better by adding maybe some of their own products and pushing some other services that they have to improve the business's product, then that's a good relationship that these businesses are able to develop, because if you work together, you can innovate and you can provide a better product to your customer. On the flip side, The downside of operations is that when you close your factories to have the outsourced company make it for you, then you have to let go of workers, and that causes redundancy, that causes demotivation, especially for the people who still remain in the organization. They might feel, look, if one factory is closed down this year, maybe next year it's going to be our turn, and that may start creeping in the form of poor motivation, poor quality, and that's not good for any business, right? Plus, as we discussed, since you're not watching it yourself, it's not being produced internally, quality may not be under your control. And sometimes these outsourced companies who are producing for you, they're producing for your competitors as well. So your company secrets may be at risk if they decide to share it with your competitors. But if you can understand that the problems of excess demand, the problem of time constraint, and shortage of workers are big enough for a company to go for the process of outsourcing, because you can't just let your orders slip away from your fingers. You have to make every effort to make sure that you're able to retain your clients. Now, let's look at how does a business go about making the decision of going ahead with outsourcing or not. So the decision to go ahead with outsourcing or not largely relies upon three things. First of all, what would it cost you to make it yourself versus what it would cost you to have it done from an outside party. So if the costs are greater than getting it done from outside, then of course you will not do it in-house and outsource it to another company. However, at this point, you also have to consider that what if in the future that vendor closes down or that vendor is not willing to supply to us, you may have to bring that process back into the business. That means opening up new departments, the ones that you may have closed previously. So that's where that cost of opening departments, which means getting land, getting labor, will also have to be part of your cost and benefit analysis. And if you're a smart business, if you want to continue using outsourcing as help and still retain your business's credibility, then keep the core activities within your control. So for example, if you're a clothing company, keep the designing element in your hands. Just send the actual production of it to these outsourced companies. So I hope you can understand now that how outsourcing is of great use to any business that feels that shortage of resources and still needs to make up for the orders that they have received, in turn increasing their revenue all along.